What's up, guys? It's your boy Anime Boom, and I am back for another video. And man, Avatar: The Last Airbender Netflix just came out, and I just want to talk about Aang, because Aang in this live action to me is almost perfect. So let's get right into it, and let's go. Before we get into the Avatar Netflix series, I want to talk about the original Avatar cartoon. So I watched it back in 2009 or 2010, and Aang. Aang in the cartoon is so perfect. That's the original. Aang in the cartoon is the original, and it's going to be hard to fill those shoes. Aang in the cartoon is fun. At the same time, he can be serious, emotional, angry, and the fight scenes with him, with using the airbending and stuff. He's an airbender, so he uses like kid type moves on people, and he's always just flipping around, jumping around, fighting. That's the way he fights. He's always jumping around and stuff with his airbending. It's fun, and his attire iconic. And it's no rush to anything. Aang is just a perfect character. When he needs to be serious, he's serious. When he's funny, he's funny. When they need to do something dealing with like the romantic stuff between him and Katara, it's great. Aang, it just was never bad. Nothing bad with Aang's character. He never was annoying. He was supposed to be annoying sometimes, but that's just the writing. He never was like annoying as a character, and I just never wanted to see him. He had annoying moments because that was his personality. That's how he acted. So Aang was just perfect, and I never got tired of seeing Aang. That's why everybody wants Aang back. He's legendary, and we all love the cartoon, and Aang's the main reason for that. We love the cartoon because of him. Everything he does is perfect. So going into these live action shows, it was gonna be hard to fill those shoes. You're not gonna be Aang. You are not gonna be that perfect, and you're not going to make everybody like you. So let's get to the movie before the Netflix Avatar series. The movie that made us not a fan of this version of Aang, man. The 2010 Avatar movie that's got released back in 2010. And when it first came out, I was there. I watched it. I wasn't there in the movie theater. Oh, God. But I was there at home watching this movie. And man, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's awful. And everybody says the same thing. It's awful. It's way worse than the Netflix Avatar series. And Aang in this Avatar series, you're probably thinking about, what about Aang? Aang in the Avatar 2010 live action movie is not good. He's not good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will say this. I love the way he fights. I like the way Aang fights. I feel like that's all Aang. The goofy flipping around and stuff with the airbending, that's Aang. I like the way he fought in the movie. And for like the time 2010 to get the action scenes like cool like that, I thought they did an okay job. I will say that. I thought the fights with Aang was cool. The costume, I liked it. It was different. It was down to earth. It was a toned down version of what we seen in the cartoon, and I liked it. I did like it. You got the Aang being fun. In the cartoon, Aang is so fun, and he goes on little adventures before he beats the Fire Lord. And Aang in the live action does not really do that. There's a montage of Aang going on little side adventures and saving towns and stuff and going to do fun stuff, but no. Aang does not do that. He doesn't go to Kyoshi Island. He doesn't do any of that stuff. They didn't do Aang justice, and he's serious. He's serious, I guess. He's serious, but it's not really good acting when he's serious. I don't like be like, whoa, this is really intense. This is dramatic. I'm just like, oh, Aang's angry. But yeah, they could have did that better though. Aang in the 2010 movie did not work, and it's mainly because he ain't fun. He just wasn't fun. He wasn't happy really. He just was never happy. He was always dark kind of. So let's continue with the Avatar Netflix series. Okay, let me take you back to 2018. Back in 2018, I got the announcement. I seen on the internet that we were going to see a new Avatar live action from Netflix. We got the big announcement, and people were mad. People were upset. Man, I was like, ugh, why? Why? Nobody's asking for this. Why are we trying to do another live action? And it was a picture of Appa and Aang. It was like a concept art, and it looked like a cool picture, but it just, from the 2010 live action movie, it just was not looking good. We were not ready for it, and it was like, ugh. So the casting process. So around 2022 or 2021, they cast a kid, Gordon Cormier. He was like 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, around that age. And that was the first step they got right. They got a kid actor to play Aang. They got a kid actor. And I know the last guy was a kid, the 2010 live action version, he was a kid, but he was like maybe like 14, 15. He looked a little older. This person was like the new actor they got, Gordon Corbin. He's actually a kid. He's a kid, so he's gonna act like a kid. He doesn't have to pretend. He's gonna act young and fun. That's what we wanted. So that was a great casting choice. And then you got more pictures of the cast and stuff before the show. And I was like, whoa, this actually looks like a fun movie to work on. This looks cool. And then we got we just started getting stuff, and I was like, okay, the casting process, they on point with it. Everything's cool. The casting looks perfect, and it was great. So let's talk about the actual Netflix show now. Let's finally talk about the Netflix show and how they did Aang. Okay, let's start it off with the costumes. So I seen videos on YouTube, and people was talking about how this new Avatar Netflix, the 2024 version of Avatar, had no heart. They said this show had no heart, no soul. And I don't think you can say that, because the costumes, the way they had these locations, the world look, sometimes it was like, you can't say that. They actually tried. They tried, because the costumes are on point. They got accurate, the most accurate they could get. And Aang's costume is perfect. That is Aang down to every single piece of his clothing. That is Aang. He got the everything, man. People didn't like the tattoos the 2010 version had on his arrow. They got rid of it, kind of. It's bare, you could barely see it, but they got rid of it. They gave him the full arrow, the bright clothes, the saturated colors on those clothes. Nobody would wear that in real life, but they still did it for the fans, and I think that's so wrong to not give them their credit. They tried. They did their best. So I cannot say that they did not have heart into the show. I love that the costumes are so accurate to the show. The blue spirit mask, the Aang's costume, Katara and Sokka's costume. And I just love Aang's costume. It's Aang. That's everything that we got. And I know the 2010 version did not do that. They had Aang have this new white outfit on. I thought that was cool too. It was toned down, it was down to earth, and it looked more realistic. But this one is accurate to the source material, and I love it too. I love both of them. They're both cool. So yes, just to start it off, the costume is perfect. That is Aang down to everything. So let's continue, man. Let's get to the serious tone of Aang in this series. Yo, the Avatar Netflix series got the tone perfectly. It was serious. It was serious. I loved that they knew how to be funny sometimes and fun, but they also knew how to keep it serious. For example, Marvel, the MCU, is struggling to stay serious. They always want somebody to crack a joke. In this Avatar Netflix series, I love that Aang, even he's a 12-year-old kid, they could have just made him goofy and making jokes all the time. They could have done that and made us just sad and disappointed, but they chose to make Aang still serious, because he could get serious in the cartoon. And I thought that was cool that they still kept it balanced, because Aang was fun sometimes, but he stayed serious. He stayed serious, so I'm okay with it being a little. He kept talking about his responsibility. I will say that he kept talking about his responsibility all the time, and I did get tired of it. But I'm still happy that he was at least serious. He wasn't goofing around the whole show, and he majority of it just stayed serious, and he was focused on what he needed to do. So they got that right. I'm happy that they did that. They could have cut out some of the scenes of him talking about his responsibility, because that's like half of his dialogue. He does talk about his responsibility all the time. And Aang in the cartoon did not talk about his responsibility at all. He did, okay, he did, but that was like later on. It was moments. Like the end of the seasons, he would do that, but sometimes he didn't even want to talk about that. He'd be like, let's go do something fun. After the eclipse in season 3, he was like, let's go do something fun in the Kyoshi Island. He wanted to go ride the Magi and stuff. It was stuff that Aang wanted to do instead of just being serious all the time. So they could work on Aang talking about his responsibility, but I'm happy that they still brought that stuff up. It's important. So let's continue to the next thing, the action. Aang in the cartoon used to throw hands. The animation was just perfect. He was moving all fast and stuff. Aang did not fight slow. His action was real fast paced. And Aang would do some athletic stuff like the air scooter and the jumping around and all that. It looked cool. It looked cool. So I was wondering how they were gonna adapt some of Aang's like fighting moves in the cartoon to live action, and I thought they did a good job. Gordon Cormier, I keep calling him Daniel Cormier, but that's not even his name. Gordon Cormier did a good job. He did a great job. The scene with Boomy and stuff I thought was real cool. Him waving his arms around. And the airbending looked really good in the show. Mainly because of him. He's the only airbender. I thought he did a good job doing the airbending movements. It didn't look like he was just waving his arms around. I love the ending scene with him with the fish transformation. You know what I'm talking about. The spirit transformation. That was CGI, but also the CGI of it, I'm mixed on. Because sometimes it looks so like CGI, but other times it looks like, oh, that's good CGI. That's good CGI. And Daniel Gordon Cormier can't jump off a building and fly and stuff. I know he can't do that, so it's impossible. You need CGI, but I wish sometimes they would have figured out little tricks to not have to use CGI and stuff. But I thought he did a good job. The fast movements he got down. I love the air scooter scene, even though people don't like that. I thought that was a good try. You tried. It was good, and I thought they succeeded. In my opinion, it looks sort of wonky, but I was like, that's what Aang does, man. He does the air scooter. That's fun. He created because he likes to have fun. And he's using his airbending to have fun. So I love Aang's action. My favorite fighting scene that Aang had in the live action was the scene with Zuko at Omashu. I think it was episode 5. I love that scene. I thought that was good. And Aang, they got the action down. Okay, did they get Aang's fun side out? And I'll say this, it ain't perfect. It's not perfect. It is better than the 2010 version. No, I'll say that. It is better than the 2010 version, but it is not perfect. I feel like Aang, Katara, and Sokka's chemistry, they could have gave them more moments. They needed more time. And I love that I can't say nothing bad about the actors because they were that good. It's just you can tell that they did not have enough time. And the scenes we got of them hanging out together on Appa, the scenes we got of the characters going to places, going to locations, Aang teaching Katara waterbending for those little seconds, I thought that was better than anything the 2010 Avatar movie did. They didn't do anything like that. They did not do anything like that. They didn't try to implement Appa into anything. They didn't try to implement Momo into anything. They at least tried in the Netflix 2024 version of Avatar. Aang was fun at moments. He was hanging in Kyoshi Island. That episode alone is that's fun. He was going in there to have fun, kind of. And you got Omashu also that location is somewhere he had fun at. Those are locations he tried to have fun at. So I'm happy that they had that in there. And you had the moments with, like I said, Katara and Sokka. So it can be better. 100% it can be better. But at least there are moments. There are hints to Aang in the characters having fun sometimes. So it can be improved on. Let's talk about the pacing. Okay, this is gonna be the final segment of the video. I just want to get the rest of my thoughts out about everything dealing with Aang and stuff. Gordon Cormier, this is his very, well, I'm not gonna say very first. He's been in other stuff, I believe, but this is one of his first bigger roles. And he's really young, man. He's really young, and to have a young actor like really be good. He's really good, really talented. He's really talented. And this is why I want to go to the pacing. This is not his fault if Aang has problems in the 2024 Netflix version. It's not him. You can tell he's really good. This is a freaking 13-year-old actor, 12-year-old, 14-year-old actor that's just got into this, and he's good. He's really good. I didn't feel any cringe from him. I didn't feel any bad vibes from his performance as Aang. I was like, no, this is really a good actor. It's just the lines and stuff. It's just like when him and Katara talk, when him and Sokka talk, it sounds weird. It sounds weird. And then one of the worst examples, episode 5, it's like, they had Jet, Omashu, Zuko and Iroh go to Omashu. They had the Cave of Two Lovers. They had I forgot their names. The air temple people that fly with the machines. They had those flying machines. They had so many storylines in a few episodes. That's nobody's fault. That's just terrible pacing. Add more episodes. Do something. Or cut out something. I don't think the mechanists needed to be there. Get rid of the flying storyline. I don't really like them like that. Teo can go. But they just didn't have enough time. I wish Katara, Sokka, and Aang had more time to bond together. That's what I wanted to see. Them bond together. That's the funnest part of the show. Seeing them do goofy stuff and have fun. And I just think that's the worst example. You got other episodes too, they do the same thing. I feel like they had the owl. They had Cold the Face Stealer. They had all that. It was like a Spirit World episode where just all the spirits from different episodes come in and talk to Aang and stuff. And they had what's his name? I forgot his name. But Aang was talking to his teacher from the air temple there too. He was there. Monkey Otto. Monkey Otto is his name. And it just felt so cluttered. And then they did the Zhao storyline, the Blue Spirit episode, during the same time as the Spirit World episode. It was just all connected together. And then they did the episode where Roku, he goes to talk to Roku in season 1 with all of that. It was so cluttered. So I hope they work on that. Fix the pacing. Fix the pacing, please. Gordon Cormier killed it. Nothing I have bad to say about his performance. Nothing bad to say. He's just reading off what they give him. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. And I know that he's going to cook next season. It's going to be perfect next season. All the cast. I think really every person in the cast really was good. It's just the writing for these characters. It was just like, that wasn't good. But all the actors, they did a good job. Maybe Azula and Boomy might be like bad, but everybody else cooked. Everybody else cooked, and it's just the writing that was a little bit off. Even Boomy and Azula were just problems with the writing. It was just all the writing's fault. So that's how I feel about Aang in the Avatar 2024 version. I thought he was good. There's still more that can be worked on. There's still so much time. And I think people need to let them cook. No rush. They got time. Give them season 2. If season 2 isn't good, I will critique it. I will actually give them the critiquing that they need. if season 2 isn't good, because I think that's the make it or break it. Y'all gotta remember, Avatar: The Last Airbender season 1 in the cartoon, even that is kind of like, it's not the best one, it's the worst one. So let's give them time. Tell me how y'all feel about all of this, and I'll see y'all. Peace.